Disclaimer. The opinions expressed in this show are unfiltered and unrehearsed. Statements conveyed are personal and issued to the best of the ability and knowledge of the cast. They should not be taken as conclusive facts. Does This Offend You is not responsible for any mental, physical, or emotional damage sustained by its listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to another episode of Does This Offend You? Storytime. Today we have Storytime. I talk about some neighborhood kittens I've been taking care of and why they made me question the existence of God. We talk about our friend Steve, who you may have heard of, and his fear of public speaking. And all of us tell you a story about our personal relationships with porn stars. Yes, the one you're thinking of. Them. That one. Exactly. The one you jerked off to earlier today. So stick around, and thanks for watching.
What do I have to say to make some money? What do I have to say to make some money? No offense.
Why are you being stupid?
This is why we have quality checks before we start recording, Danny. Honestly, I am very let down.
This is the first time I've ever gotten this error. It's fucking annoying. It's obnoxious.
Well, I've never had this error, so I'm just saying. Abdication is key.
Okay, here I am. Hi, everybody. It's me. I'm now back in the podcast. The guy who's running the show, who produces this, who's given all these guys the gift of technology. I'm the one who fucked up today. So there, you happy? Haha, everybody get your laughs in now.
I'm not.
The irony
I'm
is
not
clear.
happy. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed, you know?
God fucking damn it. I can't tell with half this shit that happens. Anyway, so I'm going to get this podcast started because it's late. And I had a hell of a day, and I just want to talk about it. And I want to talk to you guys about something that's very, I don't know. Today is I have one of those stories that kind of makes you wonder about a higher power. I mean, you guys probably don't, but I don't. You guys already have a higher power, I guess. You guys adhere to that. We talked about this right here, Concept of God episode. But I, for one, don't really believe in a higher power. But I have one of those instances where the universe sends you a sign. I'll let you guys judge if I'm looking too much into it. But here's the story. So for the last couple of weeks, I have been taking care of 2 neighborhood kittens. Hold your horses. I know it gets crazier. Yeah, so I don't know. I love animals, and when I see 2 little kittens in need, I jump, and I feel like I have to take care of them. So because they're helpless. I mean, grown neighborhood cats, fine, but little kittens, I don't know. Because the first time the only reason I know about this is because I was trying to sleep one night. It was like maybe 1 a.m. and I just hear like just obnoxiously loud. The entire night, this fucking kitten would not shut up, and that is basically, to me, it's like a distress call. So they're probably searching for their mother. I don't know, their mother probably got mauled by a grizzly or something. No idea. And this goes on all fucking night, and I'm losing. I'm like, dude, this sucks. I want to take care of this cat. So and then immediately, like the next day, I get some cat food and I leave it out. And I'm not really like looking for anything. I just leave it out to make sure something's eating it. So the next night, it's all gone. Next night, it's all gone. Next night, it's all gone. And then maybe the 5th night, I actually look for evidence, and lo and behold, there's just like 2 little kittens that come up and eat the food. So I'm growing to love these little kittens, and I put them in front of my window, and I watch them every day around. I'm like tracking their behavior and what times they eat. Like one of them, there's a gray one, and there's like a lighter one, like with white on them. I call the gray one Shadow, and the other one Sunshine. So they're inseparable. They huddle together, they eat together. Shadow's a little more skittish. But Sunshine is a little more, she's like brave. She goes up and then Shadow will follow her. So she has more of a tolerance for me when I approach them, just to make sure I want to actually get them to associate my face with food. She'll wait longer than Shadow will run away immediately. She'll sit there for a little bit and then she'll run away. Anyway, so that's the thing. We're bonding. I'm getting to know them and their personalities and stuff. And then eventually I started putting out a little basket, I guess, for them to sleep in at night and whatever. And yeah, anyway, a week and a half goes by, and then last night I put the food out and I leave it out a little bit longer, and I put treats inside their little bedding, and this massive fucking raccoon comes up to eat the stuff, and I'm like, well, they already ate today, probably wouldn't be a bad idea for them to, whatever, if the raccoon wants to eat it, whatever. But I didn't want the raccoon thinking this was a good place to just settle down and eat food. So I like try to get it to leave. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, raccoon. Blah 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 blah. Raccoon does not give a shit. By the way, it just like looks at me like, you gonna keep yelling or are we gonna fight or whatever? And I'm like, fuck you, dude. So I go downstairs and I grab a broom and I come back up with the broom and I start like shooing it away with the broom. It's like a cartoon. And the thing goes down the stairs and it looks at me. It's like, all right, you done with the broom? And it comes back up and it's like looking at the broom and it's like, this thing is not phased. I'm like, dude, it like got used to the broom immediately. Not only that, I saw in the tree next to it, there's like 2 baby raccoons. So it's obviously a mother. So I think the reason it's being brave is because it needs the food and it will fucking fight anybody. So I'm like, fine, feed your fucking kids and then get the fuck off the porch. I don't care. So I go inside and I look out the window. I'm just watching. I'm just observing. So then the kids come up on the porch and they start eating the food. And as I'm watching, the mother goes up to my fucking window and like starts clawing at like the windowsill. And I'm like, dude, this fucker is gonna kill. It wants to kill me. I'm a 165 pound human being. This is a little raccoon. I'll curb stomp the motherfucker. But this mother is like, it wants to fight. You know, all raccoons are real. Like, what are they, part of the badger family or whatever? Like, I understand why people are afraid of these things. They'll fight fucking anybody. And I don't know, could have rabies. I don't want to be clawed by a raccoon regardless. So anyway, they eat and they leave and they go down the stairs. And then Vlad leaves the house like later on at night, right? And there's a bunch of raccoons on the porch, like different family. But there's like 4 of them, 5 of them now.
No. First off, there were 6.
There's 6 fucking raccoons on the porch, yeah.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to get to is now there are 9 raccoons who know there's food on our porch, and there are 2 kittens that eat there. So you see the problem with this. These defenseless kittens will get mauled to death by raccoons just for being there at the wrong time. And so I couldn't sleep last night. I'm up all night like, fuck, if these cats come back at the wrong time, like this raccoons are gonna kill them. And so today I wait. I put the food out super early because I want them to eat before the light like dims, goes down. It's like dawn comes, or dusk, whatever. And they don't come all day. So it's like 6:45, right? I see 1 kitten come up. And I'm like, where's the other one? For 2 weeks, these kittens were inseparable. I'm like, where the fuck's the other cat? And I'm getting worried. Like, it's actually affecting me mentally. I'm like sitting there watching this kitten eat, and I go outside to go check, and the kitten runs down the stairs, and then I go back to the window because I want her to eat. So this is Sunshine, by the way. So she goes and I sit in the window and I just stare. I'm just staring out the fucking window. And I did some work, and I'm trying to get back to my whatever I do during the day, some work, and I work on this podcast, etc., etc. But then I keep going back to the window, and I keep going back to the window, and like my whole day is just like every 5 minutes I'm going back to this fucking window. I want to see this cat eat, and the other cat's not there, and I start losing it because I'm like, dude, did I just get these cats killed? Because I wasn't careful. I started like I didn't monitor who was eating this food. It was just like I'm thinking these pack of raccoons killed this kitten. Like they were inseparable until today. So, and I see her eating alone. And I'm like starting to fucking lose it. I'm like, this sucks, dude. I'm like, where's your fucking brother? I'm like about to cry. And so Vlad gave me this idea last night. He's like, you should have to trap these kittens or to get used to you. And I'm like, okay, my dad used to do that with like raccoons in his neighborhood to catch and release. So I call my dad and I'm freaking out. I'm like, Dad, like these cats I've been taking care of for like 2 weeks. They're inseparable. I might have killed one. Like I'm freaking out. I need that cage you used. How does it work? What do I do with it? I put food in it. I want to capture this kitten. I want to make sure she's safe from like everyone else. Right? They've been abandoned. There's no one to take care. She's alone. She's alone in this fucking world. I love this fucking kitten, and she's alone right now. There's no one else. Her brother's dead because of me. And I'm fucking losing it, dude. And I'm pacing around the house, and I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm like, how does it work? Like, it's like, and he's telling me, it's like, it's fine. It's part of life. Well, and I get the gist. They're wild cats. It's a risk you take when you live out in the wild. It doesn't matter. I feel responsible. So I'm at the window talking to my dad. I'm like, and I'm looking down, and there's just a cat, like a fully grown cat. And it looks up at me, and it looks at the porch. I'm like, okay, fine. This fucking cat's gonna go eat the food now, too. Whatever. And the cat just jolts off to the side yard. And so I follow the cat. I'm like, what the hell made it jolt over to the side yard, whatever. And in the middle of talking to my dad, he's like trying to calm me down. And I see this cat and I see Sunshine. And they look identical. And I'm like, oh my God. Is that like your mother? Is she finally here? Did you find your mother? It's like a Disney story. It was amazing. And so like they go up to each other and the mother like catch like she kind of like licks her a little bit and she climbs the fence and then Sunshine goes on the fence and they like go to this little like nesting area behind her house, which I realize now that's where they are, I guess. And then that's basically the end of the story. But what I'm saying is, after 2 weeks taking this cat, the night this shadow goes missing, and I'm freaking out, calling my dad. In the middle of the phone call, I found closure. In the middle, like the peak of my distress, this fucking mother cat finds her child, and I witness it on top of that. And so now my head is clear, and I can only assume Shadow's okay. If the worst has happened to Shadow, then at least this poor kitten Sunshine has her mother. And I know it's a ridiculous story, but I feel like I wouldn't call it just coincidence, because it's too good to be true. Like when I needed it the most, something was sent to me in the form of this mother cat taking care of this kitten that I've been trying to take care of for 2 weeks. So anyway, do with that what you will. I feel like the universe sometimes sends you a sign, no matter what higher power you believe in. And that's my story for today. Thanks for listening. What do you guys think?
So you do or you don't believe in God?
I don't, but this is really pushing it.
Towards yes or no?
Towards yes, but I displace God and I say the universe sends you a sign. I feel like a lot of atheists will use the universe as their higher power, just as default for shit like this, when this shit like this happens.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So you're agnostic.
Right.
I would say in moments like this, yeah, probably tomorrow I'll be like, yeah, fuck you, God. Like when I step in a puddle and it ruins my jeans, I'm like, fuck you. Like, I mean, you don't exist, but fuck you. You don't exist, but yeah.
Don't be treating religion like it's a spectrum, Danny. You can't just go jumping from religion to religion.
Yes, I can. Watch me. I mean, tons of people, celebrities do it all the time. Just
God
whoever
damn
endorses
this
them.
country. God damn it.
Who puts
There's
the
no
most?
more absolutes.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So my anti-faith is tested in moments like this. That's all I wanted to say. Yeah. Do you guys have moments like that where you're just like, huh, thank you, big guy, or like whoever you believe in?
Every day.
Sure.
Every
Every
day.
day. I wake up in the morning, I say, oh, thank God I woke up, and I'll do a little prayer. I even have my tools for praying right over here. Every morning I do it.
Wow. Holy shit.
I say thank you to God because, you never know. There's going to be that one morning you just don't wake up, and it could come at any time. It's not like old people anticipate it or anything. It could just happen. You got to be thankful for every day. It's a blessing.
Guess. Yeah, sure. That's a really optimistic way of looking at it.
It's not optimistic at all. I'm completely anticipating my death at all moments.
Danny,
Yeah.
what did I tell you before we started the podcast?
Yeah, I just got the text. Okay, now we can jump into the next part. Maybe we'll revisit the religion thing, but go ahead, Vlad. What's
What?
on your mind? What's on your mind, Vlad?
Well, I'm going to touch on what you were saying first.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'm glad you're trying to help the kittens. It's very sweet of you. Just don't get too attached to them. They're still wild animals. And yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a slippery slope. I don't want you getting like really invested super in them, because if they, for some reason, don't survive, I don't want you being all depressed. Finishing up on that. So we all know Steve. He's back in town. He's back in California, in San Francisco, and we plan to have him on the podcast this week. And he and I went to a wedding over the weekend to LA, where I told him like, hey, you're gonna be on the podcast next week, and he's like, at first he's like, oh really, okay, and then he's like, what are you guys gonna talk about? And he like asked a few questions over the course of the few days there, and then as we got started going back, he started more getting what I felt was cold feet, because I know Steve for a long time, and he has a really bad fear of public speaking. And for some reason, he correlates a podcast with public speaking. That's not even live. It's, post edit. We're not live yet. But, yeah. Things like that. My whole thing is, like, I kind of ask myself at this point, it's like, how much do people need to push themselves to get out of their comfort zone? To what degree are we okay with people just sitting so stubbornly in their position where they're like, they essentially throw off plans entirely just to cover their ass? And I can understand if you were somebody who was being forced to jump out of a plane to skydive. Like, I get that's a bit more intense. That's adrenaline. You can have a heart attack, for God's sake, and die. But a fucking podcast, dude? Like, holy shit, man. Jesus Christ. Like you're literally talking to your friends on a fucking camera, recording yourselves talk about probably the same shit you talk to your friends regularly about as is. Yet your psyche kicks in to make you afraid of that. Why? I don't get that. Am I overthinking this?
I,
Um,
I mean, we are talking about the guy that posts Instagram selfies at the gym lifting and putting up big weights.
Exactly, he does it.
So like he already puts himself in a spotlight as is. So I was just kind of surprised that this is happening. But I mean like
Yeah.
I'm not one to tell someone how to live their life. It's just depends on personal preference. Like I'm the type of person where I'm constantly trying to challenge myself because I know that you have to remove yourself from your comfort zone to grow. And we talked about it before. Like I've been taking these cold showers, doing the Wim Hof method or whatever, and it became a routine for me now. Like I can take a cold shower, no problem. Does it still suck? Yeah, but I know in my head that I'm doing something intentionally that I don't need to be doing, making myself uncomfortable for the sake of personal growth. And I just think some people have that mentality, and others it takes them a lot longer to reach that point. And I tried
oh,
to convince him to come on too, so it's just
oh,
unfortunate.
or you can look at it the other way, which is like this is just a silly podcast. Why would I want to challenge myself or try to? This wouldn't be the moment for me to try and grow and put myself in out of my comfort zone or whatever. It's like it's just a podcast. There's no greater meaning
But
to it.
this is the perfect thing for it. It's not a live podcast.
Yeah, what
You're
if
not
he's what if this isn't what he wants to work on, public speaking? What if there's like other things he can challenge himself to do out of his
No,
comfort
but
zone?
like we've talked to him before. Like he has a
Yeah.
sister, and a few years back it was her birthday, and like I remember I told we were gonna go to her birthday party at a restaurant, and technically when you're at a birthday, especially for family, you're supposed to do a toast. It's just proper manners.
Mm-hmm.
I've done toast for his family before, and it's like I tell Steve, I'm like, why don't you do a toast for your sister? And he's like, I don't want to, and I'm like, why? He's like, I don't like doing them. And I remember like he told me he's like, yeah, I just don't like doing this. And I'm like, so you're afraid of public speaking? And when he finally kind of came to terms with it, I'm like, I pushed him. I actually pushed him to do it, and he finally did a toast. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was got the point across. He wished her happy birthday, did that in front of people, fine. And afterwards, I was like, see, Steve, you fucking survived. You're not fucking dead. You're okay. You're gonna get through this. You can do it. Just grab yourself by the balls a bit, squeeze them, make it. You gotta make yourself uncomfortable in the situation. That's how you get better by practicing it. And yeah, I'm just so mind blown, boggled by this because of the fact that this is not a live podcast. We're not streaming anywhere right now. We're doing a pre-recording and then editing. Later down the line, we will be probably streaming live. But till that point, it's like, dude, you can if you're afraid of sounding stupid or doing something dumb, like there's editing. We can fix that.
Mm-mm. For all intents and purposes, this is live.
No.
I don't do editing. That's censorship. Remember? That's censorship.
But we're also
Whatever.
I need a lot of extra crew members to do this live. But I think I kind of disagree with you, Danny, though, because I actually agree with you in the sense that maybe this is not something that he wants to work on. Totally fine. I'm sure he has other projects in his life that he's doing. But as far as the way he's spending his time immediately now, he's not really doing anything else. And we did have this planned. So we're looking at like a twofold of letting his anxiety deter him from following through with plans. And for me, that's just kind of annoying because I think we tried to go out of our way to make this work today. And, I don't fault the guy. It's just, it would have been fun to do. So I'm just more just kind of upset that we couldn't have him on today.
It is a missed opportunity, but the good thing about doing this on Zoom is that we can have him on whenever he wants. Just whatever. I mean, that's up to him. But in his defense, I don't know if we actually had any ironclad plans. We just kind of said, Vlad, did you actually talk to him?
Wait, he was told, he was informed. At first, like I said, he was like, yeah, sounds interesting. You guys really want me on this type of thing? Like, you want the infamous Steve, as he put it? And I'm like, yes, Steve, we want the infamous Steve type of thing. And then he started asking, like I said, as we were on this trip, he starts asking questions like, what are you going to talk about? Like, I don't really have anything to say. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up and sit down, calm down, and like, when it's time to talk, you'll talk. It's a natural conversation. And For some reason, that scared him. I don't know.
So he never
I don't-
actually confirmed he was gonna be on.
He's wishy-washy. He wouldn't say like for sure we're doing this and set a date. Like no, he was like at first interested, then he's like, then he started going downhill again.
So-
Cold feet.
Right. So I can't really hold him accountable, dude. He never gave you a solid
No, I'm
answer.
not. I'm not pushing.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing him on. I'm just saying like for me, it's more or less of like the fact that he is afraid of it. That's the problem.
Well, everyone has their fear. Pick your poison, man. Some
No,
people,
I mean I don't like public speaking either.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid. Like, and I don't like performing in front of people. I've done both, but you know, you have to do it. You have to do it. Nobody's gonna hold your hand through life. It's just to such an extent to be like you're not even in the public eye right now. You're on a fucking camera.
Yeah, but that's just as bad because you know where this is going, right? To the biggest public forum in the world, which is the internet. Obviously, we don't have much of an audience, but it's out there. It's real. Everything he says is now recorded, so
I don't know.
like there's a record of it, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's real to him. It's like
Steve
if he says
also
something
used
dumb, it's not going
also used
anywhere.
to stream before too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of
His
different.
stupidity.
You don't really. I mean, because here we talk about stuff that can kind of get real. I don't know. We say a lot of raunchy shit sometimes, and if Steve says something he doesn't like, it's like I'm not taking it off. No offense, but like it has to stay here as if we were live, and he has to be held accountable for it. That's something he'd be held accountable for. So I understand where he's coming from. If he's not, yeah.
I
But
don't know.
anyway.
I feel like that's the kind of thing that drives me up the wall with people who just can't seem to overcome that fear and that hump.
Dude, there's so many layers of fear. Like to you, something that seems ridiculous to you could be just like over, like the end of his world. Just talking publicly. Like he's the kind of guy maybe he'd jump out of an airplane, no problem, but he wouldn't do it with a microphone.
But he streams himself all the fucking time. That's the problem.
He
does it
used
all the
to,
time.
and it wasn't real. It was just him playing a video game. He didn't have to
I'm
converse
not
with
even talking
anybody.
about the streams on
Yeah.
on PC. I'm talking about the Snapchat, Instagram crap. He constantly streams himself doing and saying dumbass shit, and he records himself and puts it online for people to see.
Like
So
lifting weights.
What if we
don't know.
try to not convince him to come, but just let him know, like, dude, we don't have set topics. You can talk about whatever you want.
We've tried that.
If you let him know, dude, if you want to talk about weightlifting, if you want to talk about video games, if you want to talk about anime, whatever the fuck you're into, we can talk about it. Like, we don't have to exclusively have conversations about political topics or things that you don't want to talk about.
No, he knows that. That's the problem. Like he knows all of this. It's just I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's the fear that's gripping him.
Okay. Well, time
And that's
for.
what.
I think you have to cut him out of your life, Vlad.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't have the fucking balls to go and speak publicly, you're getting cut out of my life. Steve.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's
It's over.
what's the term we use? He's useless. He's a useless friend.
I don't know about use. I don't have any use for him in the first place, but you know, whatever. That's Steve.
Oh, that
Speaking of
sounds like he got to go.
Speaking of which, Danny, what did we say before? What did I say to you before we started the podcast? I was like, do you want to bet on this is gonna happen?
I don't remember. What did you say?
I was like, I bet you.
Oh,
as soon as we
yeah,
start the
yeah. In the
podcast,
middle
he's
of the
gonna start fucking
podcast.
calling.
Yeah.
He already called, and I texted him like,
Yeah.
I'm on. We're recording. He's like, okay, no problem.
Yeah, he just texted
Josh.
me too. So I just have to wait, I guess, at this point. Where is he? Is he outside?
I have no
Does someone have to let him in? Do I have to put food out for him
I
too?
say you guys call him. Call
Right
him
now?
right now. Call him. Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's a trick. That's like a Trojan horse.
Who
You're gonna put him
cares?
on the podcast? All
Do
right,
it.
Vlad. You do it, Vlad.
I'm not. That is no point. I'm just gonna text to see where the fuck.
No,
he is.
come on. He already
No,
called you. Call him back.
call him,
back.
call
Say you're
him.
done, but not really. Say psych and then hang up.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Why
How's
are you-
that sound?
Are you? No, we
No,
want to hear. That's the
fine,
point. Is we
fine,
want to hear
fine,
it.
fine,
Are you
fine.
afraid, Vlad? Is this one of your fears?
What do you
There it
have
is.
to lose? You're kicking him out anyway.
Yeah.
Please leave your message.
Oh,
Oh,
he knows. Which one of you told him?
That wasn't me, I swear.
Oh my
I
god.
definitely sent him a cryptic message saying that we're gonna trick you into going on the podcast. Right
Oh, that's
now.
so mean. I don't know, it's just not his battle, man. That's it. Like, it's not public speaking isn't something that's for him and doesn't care to make it any better. So whatever. That's it.
Is it a public speaking thing?
I suppose just the weight of this show that it holds.
I genuinely think he's afraid of sounding dumb.
I mean, the
Yeah,
thing is, I
recording.
don't like making speeches either. Like, unless like I have something to actually say, I'm not gonna stand up and be like, all right, I also want to make a speech for whatever reason. If I got nothing to say, I'll just keep my mouth shut, sit down, and move on with my life. So
Yo, that's cool.
I don't
but-
understand like why. I don't think this is a public speaking thing.
It's a culture. No, I mean, in regards to the toast thing, though, where you were saying was that's a cultural
right.
thing. When you're at a party, birthday, you're supposed to do a speech.
Yeah, I've been to plenty of birthday and parties. Though I don't make a speech. You don't. I don't think you have to.
Russian parties.
That's what you mean, Russian parties.
Yes, Russian parties are a different story, and especially if it's your family, you have to make a speech. At least just say something nice. Has to be quick, short, easy. But no, I just like I said, I don't know how people function with such a comfort zone. Weird to me. Go figure.
I mean, I'll keep going back to it. It's really subjective what makes people afraid and what. I mean, like, I could easily just say that, Vlad, you're afraid of tearing your shoulder blades out because you don't lift weights and you're afraid of that, like a real fear, right? We talked about this in this episode right here.
You don't want to injure yourself. I never actually thought about that. I've just been like, my left shoulder doesn't fucking work properly. But I never thought about that possibility.
Okay, well, okay. Well, that's good, number one. But number two, something's keeping you from expanding that horizon. I don't know what it is.
Just my horizon with that is that I don't know how to make it work better, and I don't like to waste my time doing something if it's not going to yield any benefits.
Okay, so column A, Steve, this yields him no benefits being on this podcast.
I think it benefits him to kind of talk a bit and try to see.
He's not going to speak to anybody after this.
I can objectively say it benefits you more in the long run if you at least go for a 10-minute jog every day.
Sure.
Relative to him coming onto this podcast.
And I think it's relative for him to try to have a conversation, to try to converse with people in a more boiler room setting than to be able to talk in a whatever the hell he's been doing most of his life.
What, like basically useless talking, stuff that really doesn't get you anywhere.
Pretty
Nothing
much,
that actually provokes your thoughts.
Exactly.
Critical thinking, all that stuff, you mean?
Yeah. I want to have him do a bit more like a boiler room where he has to actually be put on the spot and have to answer and think about his answers and see what his answers can have as a consequence for them. That's important. I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't think he has that, and I feel like he's afraid of it, which
as the head of this podcast, I can't be a hypocrite and say that that's not. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree because everything we're doing here is to expand everyone's horizons and be critical and try to think on your own and yada yada yada. You know, mentally working out. Everyone needs that.
Remember when we played Would You Rather and Vlad just refused to answer questions?
They were there was no point for them. That's why. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
You literally just said these are useless conversations and
No.
We want to do a thought experiment and see how you can handle yourself under pressure and how you think and failure and all that shit. You literally just said that.
Our conversations are not useless. The topic that we had that time was useless because I was like, what does this yield to us? What was the point of that?
Well, what was the point you're making about Steve and him not wanting to say something stupid or whatever you were just saying about his
Because
fear.
when you talk about something more serious and actually have some sort of topic and the actual debate, and you're put on the spot to give a real answer, you have to think on your feet rather than you're talking about some literally out of this world concept that has nothing to do with reality pretty much.
So why was it so hard to answer those questions if it has nothing to do with reality?
Yeah, why does your answer actually matter then if it doesn't?
Because it's stupid. You're expecting me to sit there and put my brain power towards something super unimaginably unequivalent to my lifestyle that has no benefit, no relevance, and you're putting me to answer this and I'm like, why? And I don't want to because I think it's that dumb.
My question is, why would you have to use your brain power if it's not serious?
Yeah. Why
wasn't it just fuck my mother, instant?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't think that way.
But it was challenging you then.
Yeah.
I mean, cool if it challenges you, but it's not getting any sort of benefit to you, though.
At least you can say now confident. Yeah. You can be more confident with bullshit like this now, from now on. Yeah. You don't have to think about it.
I don't know. I probably will never be comfortable with that kind of bullshit, honestly.
But you did. I mean, in a way, you were challenged. You would never had to handle those questions before. I don't know.
Think
now it's public.
I don't think we get any benefit discussing the season 3 ending of The Boys either.
No,
there's
why?
literally no benefit at all.
We got to discuss and review a show that we all together like to watch collectively, and we got to have a discrepancy on something that we had varying opinions on. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just like we have discrepancies in what we would do if we were put in a position to have to commit a sexual act with our mothers.
I don't know about that. People
Mine has more real life.
People have literal book clubs in this world where they sit and talk about shit that they read for the last week, and they try to figure that out.
Too bad I don't fucking do that. That sounds boring to me. Reading and then talking about it. Oh, fuck that.
Do people have incest clubs where they talk about all
No,
these
they
scenarios?
don't. Maybe ask Steve. Maybe he knows about that.
I'm just saying it's a real possibility. It could exist. Those are probably the type of people who look at a book club and say that's dumb. They don't want to. They don't want to challenge themselves in that way.
We call them swingers.
Sure, I guess so.
I
don't
know
know.
what a swinger is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't think that means incest.
It
It
doesn't
could.
mean incest at all. No.
It doesn't not
It
mean
didn't.
it.
Why? When does incest have to be implied here? Oh, because
I
we were
thought
talking
we were
about incest beforehand.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
No,
that
I
has
said
something to do with incest.
my implication was that people that don't do book clubs are probably swinging or something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
That's it. It's either it's 50-50. You're either here to one or the
Yeah,
other.
that's what I do. I go up to older couples and I ask them, "So, are you in a book club?"
That's a good way.
Yeah.
That's a good pickup
just-
line.
Yeah, that's just how I find MILFs these days.
Nice, awesome. I respect that. I'm gonna use that next time I'm out.
Yeah, me and you together, buddy.
what?
Man, let's go. Me and you. We'll roast Shambo for the husband.
Come on, dude, you're just gonna wait here.
Oh, shut up. He's on the phone.
I'll think about it. And не приглашай, пожалуйста, с собой никого.
In English.
I don't think
Bye.
that's Steve. Is it Steve?
If that's not Steve, oh my God.
Steve's hanging out with somebody he's not supposed to.
Who?
Anyway, Anna Ortiz.
Who's that?
Do you remember Anna?
No, why are you saying their name on this podcast?
Why are you putting him on blast?
You can bleep
Yeah.
it. It's okay. Bleep it later.
I'm not going to. That's censorship.
I don't care. Either way, yeah. Steve.
Fine. What's the dirt?
I think Anna, whole entire one of Steve's old booty call dating, whatever the fuck you want to call it from back in the day. You know how his crazy girlfriend is.
Does she watch this podcast?
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
I think you should. I think you should keep telling the story until she finds out. Just until she just chimes in. She'll probably find the podcast. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. Anytime
But,
Steve's name is mentioned, it just goes to her phone like bing, like Steve was mentioned here.
That's why she's Mossad, bro. That's all you know.
It's fucking crazy. Nutcase. Anyway, this
I
isn't.
do
You're
feel
not here to
bad for this
bash.
girl though because she's now on blast on our podcast.
Oh, she doesn't give a
Oh,
flying fuck.
dude gives a shit, man.
She does not give a
Yeah.
flying fuck. Anna is one of the most free spirited fucks out there. She'd probably do porn on the podcast if you asked her to.
She sounds like a porn star. Anna Ortiz sounds like a porn star name. Is that even a real name, or did you make one up?
No, that's her actual name.
That's hot. I like that.
Okay. Well, anyway, she's actually friends. She's friends with a few porn stars.
Okay, so I can't really be too sure about that real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know some of the porn. She's friends with a couple of high-end porn stars at this.
Do you know their names?
One of them is what's her name? If she's Brazilian, what's her name? Fuck.
If you're talking about porn stars, do you use their porn star name, or do you use the real name
I
to
think that- I think
protect
it's their-
them?
I think it's their porn star name. I think it's their porn star. Valentina, some shit.
Well, I have no idea. If you're trying, if you're trying to censor somebody in a story like I did last week, do you?
I don't censor shit. I don't give a flying
Well,
fuck.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to protect someone's identity for a porn star, do you use their porn star name or do you use their real name to protect their identity?
porn star name.
So everyone's gonna able to Google them right away.
Yeah, they can Google them. That's fine.
Okay.
But no, it's some chick named Valentina, I think. I forgot her first name.
Danny used to personally know a porn star.
I did. Oh yeah, that just occurred to me. I've never mentioned that story. Now that we're all here telling stories. Wow.
I have heard that story. You told me that story.
Yeah, in real life, but never on this podcast. Because honestly, if we were gonna get any traction at all, we should have started this podcast 4 years ago when she was huge. I mean, she is huge, but not.
She definitely bought her huges, if you know what I mean.
She did. And I know that for a fact. Honestly, I could just use her to give this podcast some traction. I'll put her in the hashtags. I'll put her name all over this place. I don't care.
Before we continue
Yeah.
this, if Steve shows up right now, what's the plan?
What's the plan? He's
Talk about Danny's ex potential lover. That's
Yeah,
No, who's gonna open the door? How are we gonna get him in here?
Tell
and
him
make
it's
fucking-
story
Just
time
what-
after the. Yeah, we have a
the
break
same-
coming up, and we'll
Go
just
on.
grab him before the break, and he'll sit down and listen to story time with Danny and friends.
he can
How's that
bring
sound?
Anna
Yeah.
Ortiz or whatever. Who she
Yeah,
is.
bring her in. Let her sit in the
Yeah,
background.
who gives
let
a
the-
shit?
Hey, flip your camera the other direction. Let them fuck in the bed behind you and don't acknowledge it the whole time. Let's
Yeah.
just finish the rest of this podcast and let them finish as we
Yeah.
finish. How's
We'll see
that
who
sound?
finishes first.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
But for real, just like you picked up your phone during the podcast, just stand up and grab them. I don't.
Yeah, that's fine. What do you think? We're professionals here?
I'm just asking more of how do we get him in the house to make him not run away.
Open the door and then put him in
Aside
there.
from that,
He can't. I mean, he can sit. Your bed is to your right. Just put him there. You can't see him. It's fine.
Get a
Why
paper
this
bag
isn't
ready.
important. This is we're derailing this podcast. It's just amazing how good of a job we're doing it, like changing the topic here. Anyway,
we're almost out of time, by the way.
yeah, for this segment, for this first half of the podcast. Thanks for sticking with us, by the way, folks. If you like what you've seen, I'll do the midsection plug. Subscribe. Check us out on Spotify. We have a lot. We talk about a lot of crazy shit, not just this. Anyway, yeah. So if Steve comes in, I don't know. Let him just say hi to everybody, so at least they put a face to the name that we've been saying for the last 22 episodes. So
Or
I think
a
that,
paper
yeah.
bag. Well, we can at least
Sure.
we can at least
Yeah.
put a torso or a bicep and then tag him in his IG or something, whatever he wants. Get him some followers, because I know some people
Yeah.
want to see that shit.
Yeah, I'll plug his name here and then tell him he can tell all of his friends, and that's how we start getting at least 10 more followers. I don't know. I'm gonna plug everybody this episode. I'm gonna use this episode to just skyrocket our
Especially
podcast.
Anna Ortiz.
Yeah, hashtag Anna Ortiz. Hashtag really a porn star. I don't know. Like we'll figure it out. But okay, so I'll take this opportunity. We're gonna take a quick break. I know we have a little bit more time, but we're gonna take a quick break because we got to figure all this out. And when we come back for the second half of this podcast, it's gonna be fucking phenomenal. So stick with us, and we'll see you in just a minute. Cool. Does This Offend You is absolutely, definitely, and undoubtedly brought to you by this 100% totally real sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Persian mothers, and I don't mean that first generation American Persian moms. I mean the real deal, straight out of Iran, fresh off the boat, Persian mothers. Let me tell you why. If you ever did not want to be pampered, but it's coming anyway, Persian mother is where you go. Every damn day, part of her routine is just slicing up fruits and putting them in a bowl. Every morning, more fruits, more bowls. Even if I say, Mom, please don't do it for me. I don't want it. Mom, please stop. It's okay. Stop. Because as all Middle Eastern women are, they just like to complain about things. All they do is sit at home, make phone calls, and just bitch about everything they've been doing throughout the day. And like, oh, they made me do this, they make me do this, they can't take care of themselves, ugh, they need me so much, they're so whatever. But they keep doing it even if you tell them not to. And these bowls of fruit, they come in clutch. I know this because I was supposed to bring it on this episode and show you the delectable spread of fruits that I was given, from cantaloupes to apples to peaches to blueberries to strawberries to watermelons, and kiwis and mangoes were a little kick. You know, she'll find a new fruit, slice them up, put them in there, and they're all chopped up, and you can tell that a lot of effort was put into these bowls. And man, I feel bad saying no, but you know, they're just delicious. And I gotta say, if you're gonna find yourself a nice Middle Eastern woman, don't waste your time with these Americanized ones. Go straight to the source. Get them right out of the Middle East. They make some damn good fruit bowls, and it's worth your while. Back to you, Danny.
Absolutely tremendous. Great. Honestly, that makes me feel. It gives me some feels about my mother. That's great. Like my mom does the same thing. My grandma too.
Whoa! I don't want to hear about your disgusting thoughts about your mother, Danny.
You already did. We talked about this.
You're right.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Steve's still not here, but let's. I'll probably jump ahead. But what's going on, Vlad?
Nothing.
No updates?
We're almost out of time. That's all.
Yeah, let's just start the next Zoom call, and you tell the story.
Well, in the interest of story time, because I've been on a roll today, just telling you guys a bunch of stories, let me tell you one that you guys are both very familiar with. And it's about how I used to talk to a certain porn star.
Let's keep the reveal to the end, though.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a good one. I like that.
See
Okay.
what you can do.
All right. Okay. I'll try my best here. This is I'm the opposite of Steve. I'm going to try to just give this one a whirl, public speaking. And make it the best damn story you've ever heard. So, 15 years ago, at the spry old age of 14 years old. Wait, that would make me 29. Okay, close enough. Don't worry about it. Don't do the math. So this is maybe like I just graduated 8th grade. I'm well on my way to high school, and my parents take me on a summer trip to Maryland, where I have apparently some family out there. It's my dad's second cousin, which makes me somehow related to them, probably second, third cousin, whatever the case is. And I meet some more cousins of mine. We get to meet the family. It's very cool. We're hanging out in Maryland. I'm getting to see the world for the first time, I guess, at 14 years old. One of my, for those who don't know, I am of Lebanese descent. So that's just one half. My dad would argue that I'm 100%. But obviously, with that territory comes a lot of people that you meet are also going to be Lebanese, especially when you go visit family. So my cousin, we'll call her E. My cousin E introduced me one day as we're hanging out. My parents are hanging out with, my dad and his cousin, their respective family. We're bored little teenagers or preteens, and so we're hanging out. So my friend brings my cousin brings a friend along. Her name is Sarah, and we hang out. We have a great time, and that's it for that day. We hung out, and I basically just went on our merry way out of Maryland. We had I spent the rest of my summer basically on the East Coast. And then I came home. When I came home, my cousin had reached out to me through email and told me that Sarah liked me and she wanted to talk to me more. And I said, okay, fine. You can just give me email. I know AIM was around at the time, but for some reason, email was like the way to go. And then she sent me an email and gave me her home phone number. So Sarah's all about me, and she is very promiscuous for her age. She was like 13 at the time. I think she was like a year younger than me. And you can tell that's her personality. She's like, guy, awesome. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna fuck his brains out. Too bad he lives in California. I guess that was my downfall. Doesn't matter. She was still trying to get at it from 3,000 miles away. So she's like, this was like the first brush I had with any sort of like sexual relationship outside of, well, actually in general, but also like through the internet. Like nowadays people are sexting left and right and sending dick pics like it's none of their fucking business, which it isn't to some girls because they don't want it. But I digress. So I'm doing this through fucking Yahoo. She's like, let's send me a picture with your shirt off, and I'm just like, all right, sounds good. So I do a bunch of shirts. I have like a fucking like Olympus camera, and I'm like holding it up, and I'm just like, because phones weren't like that, they weren't that sophisticated. So I was taking this fucking Olympus camera, taking pictures, uploading it to my computer, and sending it off to her fucking email. And she's like, okay, call me, man. I want to talk to you. So here's the thing. No one had a personal line. It was like her house. So I had to call her fucking house, and to take it to her, I had to talk to her fucking dad, who I've never met. He answers the phone, unlike most I know I was raised in an Arab household, and I know what people sound like, and I know it means nothing, but still, the amount of fear that like flowed through my body when he picked up the phone. Hello? Like just fucking, it sounded angry right off the bat. I'm like breathing heavily. Like I couldn't say anything. I hang up the phone. I'm like, fuck, man. How am I gonna talk to this girl? There's no way. It's just gotta be like an email conversation until she forgets about me. And then I sent her an email. I'm like, I tried. You're like, maybe you weren't home. She's like, no, don't worry about my dad. Just like tell him I want to talk to Sarah or whatever. I'm like, does he know who the fuck I am? He's like, yeah, he knows you. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. Call the call again. Hello? Who's there? I'm just like, hi. I want to. Is Sarah home? And he's like, why do you want to talk to her? I'm like, I don't know. She told me to call, and I'm just a scared little boy. I just want to talk to my internet girlfriend who I met for one time in Maryland. And I'm like freaking out. And he's like, okay. And puts her on the phone, and we finally talk. And we talk for like 5 fucking hours. We talk all like there was no like free phones like unlimited plan. It was like I built this fucking household, my household too. We just demolished any sort of bank account. It just went to the phone company. Didn't fucking matter. So we did this like on and off for a couple weeks, and it's still, and just to like make this clear, every time I called that house did not make it easier. I'm like, hi, it's Danny, the guy who's been just hogging the phone for you and your family. So this isn't any better, is it? And he's like, no, he's Sarah, make it short. Blah blah. Like, I'm like, fucking dude, I couldn't fucking deal with it. So after a while, we're a bunch of little kids, whatever. It just falls off. all the fucking shirtless pics I sent. By the way, I was not in shape. It was like I sucked in my gut. I was this fatty. I was this little jelly bean 14-year-old. I was just like, oh, this is sexy. Whatever. This was not great. Like the whole thing was stupid. I don't know where these pictures end up. I hope no one ever finds them. But here's the thing: we stayed friends on MySpace/Facebook for years after this. So, in the dark, unbeknownst to her, I kept track of her entire life. Not that I was like going out of my way to. She just showed up on my newsfeed. So I'd see like her life progress randomly here and there every couple months. Like, oh, here she is. She lost a bunch of fucking weight. Cool. Probably lipo. Didn't seem natural. Oh, man. Her fucking tits got smaller because of it. She had a great rack. Oh, but that's fine. She got a boob job. That's amazing. Good for her. I saw like she seriously, her whole fucking life was on blast on Facebook. Like she just fucking whatever she did. She got married to a soldier. Yeah, she got that boob job, and then like at one point it's just like it didn't matter. Whatever it was, I knew everything about this chick. Right? So one day I'm scrolling through Facebook again, as teenagers do, or maybe I was in my early 20s at this point. And she shows up in my newsfeed, and it's her like fucking lost a bunch of weight, tits are out, nice, looking great. Not a picture with her husband, not a picture with her family, whatever, doing stuff that she usually does on her weekends. It's just like her, like half naked on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, you're really pushing the lines here, man. Like, are you gonna get flagged? Like, do you want to start? Like, did you want to start OnlyFans like 10 years before it even comes out? No idea. And I see who posted it. Wasn't her profile. It was one of my other friends. Also happens to be Lebanese, but no correlation. No idea. They probably don't even know each other. And the entire text is in Lebanese, and I can't even fucking read it because I don't read any Arabic. So I translate it. And it's a news article about this porn star. And I'm like, what? Like yesterday, you were on my news feed. Now you're in an article about being a porn star? And it's just like, oh, she's like a detriment to her fucking country. She's like a huge shame, but she's sucking so much dick she's getting paid for. She's the #1 porn star in the world. But like, she's basically just disgraced an entire country. And I'm just like, what? My mind is blown. And I what's the first thing I did after reading this article? Boom, straight back to Facebook. I look her up. It's like Sarah, last name here. And like, gone. Vanished. Nowhere in my friends list. I like scrolled. I'm like, did she change her name? Is her picture there? It's like, where are the titties? Where are the fucking titties? Whatever. Didn't fucking matter. Gone. The only remnants of her on my Facebook was in this news story that my friend posted. And I'm like, what the shit? You really don't know a person, even if all their life's on Facebook. I guess there's a whole other life that you don't know about because I was on the wrong website the whole time. I should have been on Pornhub because that's where this porn star was. This almost girlfriend I had at 14, years before she developed, artificially or not, she was the #1 porn star on Pornhub. Millions and millions of views. And if you guys don't know by now, if you haven't put together, a Lebanese porn star of this caliber, her name, as you know it now, is Mia Khalifa.
That was Maya.
Whatever. Thanks for taking the wind out of my sails there. That's the climax. I hope you enjoyed it. So that's my brush with a porn star. Could have been my girlfriend.
There was no climax, Danny. You fucked it up. You fucked it up.
Maya Khalifa. I'm sorry.
Mia Khalifa. Why?
Yeah.
Who cares? No one calls her Maya Khalifa.
It doesn't matter when she's gargling a dick, all right? You can call her whatever the fuck you want.
It's actually preferred the one that it sounds like when she is gargling, like Mia Khalifa. That's the one.
Try saying your name. Yeah. So you never know, man. It's a small world, and this little Lebanese boy is somehow not directly related, but correlated to somebody in the porn industry. Actually, she's not even in it anymore, right? That whole thing kind of fell apart.
Oh, she left after 2 months, I think.
Yeah, but what a 2 months that was. Congratulations.
You think she remembers who you are?
Probably not. I assume
tag her on Instagram on this video for
you bet I will. Oh
What's
my
even
god.
better is that she's like been trying to bang like any athlete that comes her way. And damn. You missed
crazy,
out, man.
I mean, she was married at one point to a fucking
What if it's your fault she became a porn star? Like, damn, I couldn't even bag that guy. Fuck.
Dude, maybe I was this last straw. Yeah, I was the bottom of her barrel.
You were
Then
the
she just
transition.
skyrocketed. You're welcome, Sarah. I mean, Mia, whatever your name is now. I can't. Yeah. So that's there you have it, folks. I mean, I don't know if this is slander because it's a true. Technically, it's true. As far as I know, everything that happened was real. But like, I don't know. I really hope
wonder
she
if we should really be
responds.
saying her name though.
Is this
That's
why
the
you don't
question.
believe in God?
This is now to circle back. This is one of those instances where now I don't believe in God because
No, so the question is, should we really be saying her name though?
This is well, it's not a last name and whatever. Fuck it. I knew her personally at one point. I'm allowed to use her name unless there's some like did like the people over at Pornhub like copyright her name or something. I don't know how this works. I've never.
don't know.
This is such a unique story, an instance of it. I can't like. I actually knew her personally, and you happen to be on a public podcast now. Sorry, not sorry, but that's the way it is. And like, who's gonna believe the word of some crazy guy on a podcast anyway?
You should tag her and Pornhub on this.
I
Most
absolutely
definitely.
will. I
Tag 'em
absolutely will, without hesitation, and without regret. I hope you see this and you. In fact, this is
And
gonna be the clip I post.
I
absolutely.
hope they reach out and they can be
Yeah.
like, we need you to remove this, and I gladly am okay with you censoring those names out of the story if it makes them happy and gives us attention. Just
Yeah.
be like, give us a share and I'll do it.
God, and I just
Give us a share. Put us on your website, Pornhub.
I could probably host this on Pornhub. Just I'll put up some weird like title that'll get someone attracted to it,
Yeah.
like giant flapping titties, and then it's just us for now. Just get flagged. Like, hey, this isn't porn. It's just three dudes talking about porn. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Speaking of Steve, we also knew a lower end porn star, not quite as famous as Mia Khalifa, obviously, back in the day when we used to do club promoting,
Right.
and we didn't know she was a porn star. That's the problem. So she used to come around there, and I remember one time Steve tried to, he thought she was attractive, so he tried to talk to her, and he comes over and says to her like, "Hey, my name's Steve." First thing she says, she turns around and says, "Get the fuck away from me," and walks away from him. And he's just like stuck there, like all confused, like what the fuck just happened? And then another time happened. We were walking out of the hookah lounge, and there's this prostitute that works in San Francisco. We call her Midget the Bridget. And Steve, it was his birthday was coming up, so he's like, "Bro, can you get me like a prostitute or some shit for my birthday?" I'm like, "Steve, I'll get you Bridget the Midget for your birthday, but you have to ask her how much she costs." And he's like, "Fuck it, I will." So he comes over, she's walking down the fucking street as we're walking up, so he tries to separate from me, goes up to me like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I have a quick question." He's like, "Get the fuck away from me before I punch you in your balls." And I started laughing like crazy, and I'm like, "Steve, why?" He's all like, "What the fuck is going on with prostitutes not liking me?" And I'm like, "Steve, you could have kicked her down the fucking block like a football. She's so small."
Jesus Christ.
He has bad luck with porn stars and prostitutes. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can imagine him fighting that little prostitute like Danny fighting a raccoon.
Did he take a broom to her?
Like, oh shit, you're a feisty one. Fuck. Like, I could drop kick you off this curb, right?
God.
Oh my god. Well, okay, how about you, Omid? Any brushes with porn stars?
Not as far as I know. I just know of one girl that I went to high school with that was on a rapper's social media smoking like a Swizzy stick or whatever out of her vagina. That's
Whoa.
Oh.
that's it. So like that's pretty much all I've seen or heard of from her since then. Before that, she was just notoriously a slutty girl that liked to sleep around, high body count, all that shit. I
Damn.
don't know. That's
Yeah.
the closest I've gotten as far as I know.
It's pretty cool though.
I haven't really looked into it though.
Neat party trick. Yeah, hit up some old friends of yours. See what they're doing. See what they're up to.
Now that I have an IG, I'll just go around and ask everybody, "Hey, did you ever end up doing porn?" Like, what's
Just a blanket text to everybody. Hey, you doing porn now? You doing porn now? You'll probably get one.
I need a story.
Guy looks so bad, guys. Please, one of you be a porn star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my friends are boring.
Yeah, I guess it's you never know. It's a small world, you know. Sometimes the big man upstairs sends you a sign in the form of a mother cat. Sometimes they rip away all hope in the form of a porn star.
Speaking of porn stars, you know it's a really fucking shitty thing.
Yeah.
Imagine being a kid of a porn star.
Oh my
growing up.
God, weren't we? We wanted to talk about this. I think so. Oh my God, didn't we? I think so.
This is some fucking shit, man.
No, we
Imagine
talked
growing
about
up with that. We never talked
not?
about this.
Okay.
No.
No, we didn't talk about it, but I think we wanted to at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can you imagine how fucking scarring that can be growing up, like fucking seeing your parents online at some point?
Well, not necessarily. Well, one of your parents. Not. Imagine both of them. What if they both make careers?
Yeah, exactly.
Off of it,
Imagine
yeah.
that's some heavy shit, bro. Like I don't think people realize how much kids have to carry with that kind when your parents are in that kind of like
my
industry.
Dude. Now
Everyone's
it's
a whore for the right price.
right. All right. Plug to that episode. But dude, think of it now though. This isn't like you run of the mill, walk into a store, buy a videotape. It's like
Yeah,
their
everywhere.
Instagram pages, OnlyFans. It's fucking everywhere. It's a fucking it's another pandemic. It's all just porn and tits, and it's like one day, like you absolutely will find your mother or father like on the like it's someone we know, probably not even personally, like not maybe my parents, I don't know, but like I guarantee that like I think statistically we are bound to know somebody who's on OnlyFans and Pornhub, and that we will know, like, you know, all porn stars aside that we know.
Yeah.
I
I know a few people
I have
Okay,
a
yeah.
question. I have a question.
Sure, yeah.
If you found out that your mother did any type of porn and you accidentally stumbled upon it, would you rather catch her sleeping with your father or some other guy?
Oh no!
Jesus Christ,
Here we
dude.
go again, Vlad.
I'm not doing this. Leave
No,
me out of this.
come on,
I don't want
you
to
got-
think about
Challenge
this.
yourself.
Nope.
Step out of your
Dude,
comfort
after
zone.
throwing Steve under the bus, you hypocrite, say it. Give us an answer.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude! I don't fucking know. I don't want to see this in general.
That's
Here
not
we
the
go.
fucking
I'd probably
point.
claw my eyes
you
out
know what? Because
afterwards.
everybody who answers this question genuinely has an answer. Like, oh, for sure, this one, for sure. Everyone answers this question with like, oh,
Oh
I
my
definitely,
God,
I
dude.
definitely want to see that.
Oh my god, dude! I'd probably just I wouldn't even fucking have enough time to realize who's in it. I would just literally the first moment I realized one of them, I would just turn off the fucking webpage right away. Be like, X, click, end. That's it.
I feel like you watch up until it got a little too sexual.
Nah, bro.
Out of curiosity, you're just like,
Nope.
what is this?
Oh my god.
So that's not an answer.
Thanks,
This is
Vlad.
very upsetting. I thought you got better at this, and now.
Yeah.
Danny, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I think I'll see both my parents doing it for 1,000, Tom.
I think so.
Alex.
Like at least I can do is gain some respect for both of them. Like,
Yeah, I want the keys to the empire. If they're like actually making money, that's it. I want to know, like, oh, you guys
At
are
least-
balling out in Pornhub.
at
I'll
least
take
I
some
know.
of that
At
action.
least I know if any money was made off of it, but all
Yeah.
the royalties stay with in the family. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
so
that's all I'm
Vlad, what's
asking.
your answer?
Yeah,
We both literally just did it.
Dude, I don't. That's hard
it's
to say.
that
man.
easy. It really is.
I don't know. It's like I'm just telling you, if I had that happen to me and I realized even one person in that video was related to me, I would be like, shut that shit off.
Who
right
the
away.
fuck? That's not the question. Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't
Answer
know.
that. This is so
I don't know.
frustrating. I know.
No.
Neither of us
know.
know, but we gave an answer anyway. Oh my god, just come on, Vlad. Step out of
Whatever.
your comfort
Fine
zone.
parents.
Pick
Fine
one.
parents. There you go. Both of them. Fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. You
Finally.
sick bastards.
There you
God.
go.
Finally,
There
Shit
you
I
go.
have to deal with. God
Christ Almighty, it's pulling teeth
Fuck.
with you, my friend.
Because I don't
Seriously.
fucking think about these things.
I can fucking hear him.
Nobody thinks about these things up until they pop in my mind, and I'm like, I should ask.
Exactly. You fucking say it. You
I
motherfucker.
didn't even answer when I asked the question. I was just curious because I'm like, what if my parents were porn stars or they did porn or something like? Like, how would I feel? Like, we were talking about stumbling upon it, so clearly this is something that like is a genuine fear. So now it's just kind of like a what if scenario.
Jesus.
What? How would you feel if you found out through said porn that you might have a potential brother? Like, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh my god.
Yay! I have a black brother.
Jesus.
I'll be like Cartman.
Listen, all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is that we are all bound to run into somebody on the. Well, you guys already know, but like, what if it's someone more personal? I'm saying it's not just like a friend you used to know. But I'm just
What if it's an ex?
I mean, is it one of those things where you can just text him and be like, "Hey, good job," or
Yeah, I
like,
don't know.
like, do you just shut up about it? Like, what do you do at that? Like, Danny, I'm pretty sure with Mia Khalifa, if you ever text her and be like, "Hey, I appreciate your work,"
Yeah.
you might get a thank you or whatever. Like, you'll be stuck in the void of her DMs. But
probably.
if it's like someone that's not a big time porn star and I'm like, "Hey, good job," they'll probably be like, "Thank you, I'm really working on it."
It's weird how transparent we are with like porn stars now, but it's cool. Like you can just drop in a DM and hopefully you get a reply back. By the way, you won't ever, so stop. But it's cool to know that you
That's
have
not
that.
true. There have been situations where guys have managed to get through to them. Supposedly, some porn stars do actually go through their DMs.
It's like a lottery or something. The one
guess,
guy who got
yeah.
through. Did it actually mean anything, or was it just like thank you for
No,
watching
from what I
me and
understand, they
speaking
started
to
dating.
my dating?
Yeah.
No.
There have been stories like that because they ask porn stars like they do
Aw.
those like Q&A questions. They're like, have you actually talked to your fans? And like some of them are like, yeah, I've gone through my DMs and like I've actually talked to some of these guys and some of them like I'm actually dating one of them, and it's like holy shit, like shoot your shot, man.
Wow. But they're just stories. They're like myths.
I mean, I don't fucking know. They're not. I'm not sure if they would go and fucking pull out their DMs and be like, here's to the whole world my information type of thing. I know that for a fact that what's her face? There was a chick. There's a streamer girl who was very famous, Sniper Wolf something, and some guy who was like a small time YouTuber, I guess, messaged her, and if I remember correctly, the message that he sent her, he was like, I love you so much, I would drag my ball sack through a field of glass for you. Broken glass for you. And she read that and she replied to him and they started dating after that.
I heard about this.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, hey, if you can shoot your shot, why the fuck not? Just make sure you're original enough to get their attention.
Is that original?
I think so.
Someone willing to die for a shot at the snatch?
Yes.
I guess. What was that? Where'd Vlad go? Oh, he's on the phone again. Is that Steve?
I hope so.
I can hear him yelling through my wall. Maybe if I point my mic towards it, we get something out of him. He muted himself, the son of a bitch. He really doesn't want us to hear what he says to Steve. Whatever.
And it's probably gonna be in Russian anyway.
Yeah.
First off, yes, it's in Russian. Number two, he's bitching at me to make hookah.
Tell him to walk in, at least say hi to the folks.
He doesn't know we're doing this. I'm not telling him.
Just tell him to walk in and say hi, please. For love. Is he in the house right now?
No, he had to make a detour because he took his family's keys and they had to drive all the way back to where they live to drop it off, and now he's coming back here. He'll be here in about
With the porn
20
star?
minutes. Yes, exactly.
He's bringing the porn star. Cool. Tell him to say hi. Well, actually, we'll probably be done by the time he comes here. But anyway, it was worth a shot. Maybe next time, folks. I know you all care so much about Steve, but whatever. Cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been that's a lie. I think that's an excuse.
What?
What do you think? He suspects that we didn't finish the podcast, so he's trying to avoid us?
But
Yeah.
at least do me a favor when he answers the door. Ask him that question. I'm curious to see what he says. To
Oh
you.
my god.
He's giving you the runaround 100%.
Oh, he's pulling a Vlad, as we can call it now.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Steve might give you a direct answer. He thinks about these sort of things, so he would probably
hope
give you an
so.
answer. He'd give you an answer.
I don't know. I think.
Well, right on, man.
Yeah, I guess he did text me earlier and said that he was nervous about it all, but he never said he wasn't coming. So I don't know.
Now he's coming just on the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
right?
Dude, I'm just tired of hearing the excuses. Did I guys? So I remember last week I bitched about somebody who was who like basically let me down.
Steve.
Well, Steve let me down this week, but also there was someone else who basically gave me. I seriously haven't seen this person for 3 months, and they like. Well, now I'm just done with them, and it wasn't anything like crazy or serious, but it was just like, even just to say what's up once a month, they would give me a fucking runaround answer about like how they couldn't make it to hang out or whatever, instead of giving me the honest truth. Not only that, they were messy about it too. They would say something, and then next time I followed up with them, they would give me a different answer, and then regardless of what they said, it wasn't the truth because they would also post all their stuff to social media, just like Sarah did / Mia Khalifa. Like when your whole life's on blast, dude, at least make sure you're a consistent liar. Like don't back it up with your posts on Instagram or whatever. Make up fake friends in a fake place that you went to. With your fake food, but no. This person's giving me the runaround for fuck. I'm not even gonna mention a fake name, just whatever. That's it for like 3 months. Like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm working, etc., etc. And then Facebook later that night, like, yeah, I see you're doing something else completely. What is it with people just like lying is just it's just so easy for people nowadays. I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it before too.
I know,
how
I'm
it's
bitching.
kind of
I'm
like,
sorry.
No, it's but like we talked about it too. How like it's kind of the coward's way out.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to do something, just be straight up. Don't protect my feelings. Fuck my feelings. Just be upfront so we can all move on.
Yeah.
You know, because like when I find out you lied, your credibility as a friend or a person just goes out the window completely. Because if you don't know me to be able to handle that truth, then you can fuck off. Like, that's the type of people that I have cut out of my life where I'm just like, look, I caught you in a lie already. I don't even want to bother hanging out with you because of how much you've gone out of your way. The mental Olympics you went through just to say no to me, which I
Yeah.
appreciate, but fuck my feelings. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just an attempt to being kind or no, nice, but it's just, it's insulting in a way.
It's very insulting. You demean my character. You think I'm like not smart enough to figure it out? Like, do you not think we know, you know, especially if it's like an older friend, like someone you've known for a long time and they're still doing it, like you don't change, number one. Number two, like you don't think I don't know you that well that I couldn't pick this out of a hat, like the drop of a hat that you're lying to me, like why why the charade? Why the game? Why are they still my friend? Is really the bigger question. There you go. Shameless plug the 2 fucking episodes. Boom. Boom, boom, because we just talked about, like, we talked about these before, but anyway. Yeah, I digress. Sorry,
Yeah.
Today's just been a story time episode and a lot of bitching, and I love it.
Yeah, but on that topic, Vlad, did you ever end up cutting out those people from your life?
No, I have not.
You said unfortunately.
I was gonna say unfortunately, but then I'm
Unfortunately.
like, hold on, I'm like, yeah. No, I haven't cut them out. I still have them hang out, and it's funny because again, Steve comes up, he's like, he watches our episodes. He's actually a very avid watcher of our show.
Thank you, Steve.
And he's like, yeah, fuck those guys. And he brings up names of people that I could be referencing, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Steve. He's like, why don't you just cut them out already? Fuck that. And I'm like, okay, Steve. He's like, no, just fucking do it. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to them. Do what I tell you. Just do it. And I'm like, okay, Steve. Thank you for your advice. Keep talking shit, and I'll fucking cut you out, bitch.
You won't. You guys love each other.
I feel like you'd like to catch your mom in a porn with Steve. Let's just be real.
God no, God forbid I kill myself.
That would be like just the ultimate like awkward relationship between you and him. Like, you're my best friend. You're also potentially my daddy now. Do I call you daddy?
Bitch, yeah,
How
papa.
would you feel if you had to call Steve daddy?
No, you can't call somebody with Down syndrome daddy. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
Yes, you can.
No, it's a lie they tell you in school.
You call him Downey.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it'd be more impressive. I mean, it sounds like an insult to your mom though if that ended up happening. Mom, he has Down syndrome. So, I was horny.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
You know, one time I was I know we're just running out of things to talk about, but another story time. This is like a story time episode. So one time, about 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, 20 years ago, I was in Hawaii, right? I was in a pool in Hawaii. I don't know why. Didn't go to the beach that day. But I was swimming around the pool by myself, and this kid was in there too, like about around my age. It wasn't Vlad. But I was swimming around, and I kind of wanted to, like, it's cool to branch out and like try to make friends, but also I kind of like the fact that I was in the pool by myself. So I used both motives to ask this guy a question. I'm like, hi, what's your name? And he was like, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Want to be friends? And he's just straight up, no. And he swam away. I'm like, all right, that's fair. At least you're direct about it. And then his fucking mom was there watching the whole thing and flipped the fuck out and dragged him out of the pool. And he just went away. Because she was hella mad that he said that. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, it was really funny. And so I got the pool back to myself, and it was a win-win.
Did that still
Okay.
affect you today?
I mean, it was memorable. I don't know. Maybe there's something deep down in my psyche I'm still hurt by it, but I thought it was really funny. It was just.
Yeah, is that why you can't cut friends out of your life because you're afraid your mom's gonna come and pull you out of the pool?
Yeah, the proverbial pool, like life.
Yeah.
If she hears that I cut out a friend.
I brought you into this world. I'll pull you back out.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is awesome. I love going back to just take a deep dive into the past. No pun intended. But yeah, just talking about all the stuff that's happened behind me. Now there's nothing good for me in the future. I don't think I'll know any people in a pool or a bunch of porn stars coming up It's just you guys now. It's unfortunate.
It's all over now.
I'm not gonna go to those parties we talked about last week where I get to try to meet new people. It's all just my friends and alone in the room.
Wait
drinking.
till your girlfriend brings you to one. She'll put you to some random event. Don't worry, it'll happen.
Again, another plug to last week's episode. God damn it. All right, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm just bound to. I'm stuck going to those events now for the rest of my life.
Well, I guess that is one other way you meet other people in this world, right? Through significant others. Like if they have a group of friends and you are forced to be incorporated with them, even though usually you probably don't want to. I guess that's one way to meet people.
Yeah, I guess.
As a favor to them.
Do you actually want to meet them? Is the question. Like like what's the line you draw for meeting your current girlfriend's friends? Like you're not gonna be friends with them after you break up, if you break up, and then as you're dating them, you don't want to be their friends either because it'd be weird. So it's like what do you do? What's the point?
Normally I don't even like mixing. Like for the most part, if something does happen, I don't want to be caught in the middle because that almost always happens. Like, like I said before, like when I make friends, I make friends. I don't like half-ass it. So I'm going to be someone's ride or die.
Didn't we talk about this last week?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, we're expanding on that.
Not
though.
about but it's the girlfriend of somebody, and I guess it just depends on who I have more loyalty to at that point. But for the most part, if those guys want to reach out to me and hang out, I'm all about it. But there is gonna be that implied awkwardness of, oh well, you guys know I can't be hanging out when she's around, because that's just not cool for anybody involved. Even if it's cordial, like there needs to be some time apart and to like get over it and move along. But yeah, one thing I do though is when it comes to my friends and they have significant others, I usually reserve myself from meeting their significant others for that reason, because I'm just like, look, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if shit pops off, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to choose anyway. And for the most part, it's like I'd rather let them or you or whomever like have your friends. I can make friends, no problem. Like that's what I'm just like, I don't care for mixing. If I have to socialize with these people, fine. But I also don't want to be heavily invested in them.
That's like a divorce scenario. Like who do you hang out with after they break up, and who do they get to hang out with when they break up?
This is why we don't hang out with people in general.
God damn it, I'm tired of having this conversation. Why don't you expand your horizons, Vlad? Again, why are you so afraid of making friends and answering disgusting questions about your parents?
I don't know, self-respect.
I don't have any, so that's fine. I'm okay.
I don't know. I could answer these questions comfortably because I don't actually believe the answers or the scenario.
Yeah.
Like that is how much confidence I have in me, my sexuality, and my incest preferences. You, on the other hand, I feel like there's some deep seated problems that we need to flesh out. That you're afraid that these answers are going to be taken seriously, man.
Definitely.
I'm scared for you.
I mean, anything that gets recorded and put online, people will take seriously or use against you. So just food for thought.
That's what Steve's afraid of.
Damn.
Yeah. See?
Fact.
It just answered your question.
I'm proud of Steve.
Yeah.
He should avoid this podcast at all costs.
Yeah. I could also offer that maybe Omid and I are the crazy ones for jumping to these answers super quickly. Like a psychologist would say, like maybe they should hesitate and think about what they're saying. Maybe Vlad's the sane one.
How much fun is that?
It's not. It really isn't. But it's okay.
Yeah, if I have to sit here and actually think about the answer, I just feel like I'm just wasting brain cells on trying to think of a legitimate answer. I'd rather just pick one and go with it.
It's true. I guess there really aren't really repercussions for just saying things. Well, there are tons of repercussions, but it depends on if you care enough, which I don't.
Right. But like even as a natural devil's advocate or contrarian, sometimes it's just easy to just stand on one side and just make up arguments. Because like I just feel like no matter what, like even politically, no matter what state I'm in, if I wanted to go against the grain, I easily could. But if I wanted to just fit in with everybody and just nod my head, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, I could, parrot whatever they say too. It's not that hard.
Right.
I'll have my own standpoints, but at the end of the day, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, nothing really matters. I guess.
Nothing really matters.
Yeah, I'm a nihilist.
To me.
Oh, well, this has been fun, gentlemen. I don't know. Anything more you would like to say, or have we? I think we got a lot done today. We talked about a lot, and they were all like very interesting, I think.
Can I mention one thing though? Did anybody see that fucking Trump's house in Florida got fucking raided by the FBI because he supposedly took some documents from the White House he was not supposed to take when he left?
No, did not
Like
hear about
every
this.
other president has done in the past.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that he got his house raided, and I was like, must be some shit.
No, it just sounds like a witch hunt at this point.
You think
Like,
so?
Bullshit like this just feeds into the conspiracy theories about the deep state and how the Democratic Party is just full of shit. Like, everything that they've done up until this point that comes with Donald Trump is just kind of like, if you guys actually had dirt on the man, you would have no problems putting him on blast in the news, but constantly they just keep making random shit up or blowing certain things out of proportion, like the whole Russian collusion thing, which later was exposed that like it was the Democrats that were colluding with Russia because like Hunter Biden and shit. But that's not even on blast in the news. It's always gonna be Trump this, Trump that, and I'm just like, stop. If you actually had dirt, you would put it on blast. There's nothing.
And he'd be in jail already, if anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, this is clearly an attempt to just ruin his presidential election attempts in 2024. If they really wanted to go after presidents for taking home documents, they can go after Bill Clinton or something who took home documents too. Like, everyone's done it. It's not something that's unique to him.
The question is, though, at the end of the day, what was so cataclysmic for them to have to set off the FBI to go raid his Mar-a-Lago house?
I mean, it's clearly a hit piece at this point. They're just trying to go after him. They want to ruin his chances at an election. They want to find excuses to say he's a criminal, and this is how they're doing it. As long as they keep him relevant in the news and they keep him as the enemy, it's going to be so much easier to put him on blast and elect another dumb, demented idiot like Biden, who's no more than just a figurehead at this point because he clearly can't publicly speak.
Yeah. Steve, there's somebody worse than you out there. Don't worry, buddy.
What?
Good, Vlad. Glad. All right, well.
I love it. Inside jokes.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so sorry I missed you today, Steve, buddy. Maybe next time. You always have a home here. No,
he doesn't.
Not literally, but like
No,
you know,
he
he can be on the interwebs with us one day, hopefully. We'll see. But until then, this has been another fantastic episode of Does This Offend You? That is Vlad. That is Omid. I am Danny. Do not forget to like, share, comment down below. Tell us if you know any porn stars. Tell us your stories. Maybe you adopted a neighborhood kitten yourself. Maybe they're a porn star. I don't know. Tell us in the comments below. Also, subscribe to us here on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. We're on Spotify. I'll keep plugging that till the day I die. We're very proud to be there, and I'm very happy to do this every week. It's been phenomenal. Vlad, you want to say something?
No.
No, okay.
If you are a porn star, though, jump on the podcast with us.
Yeah, we would love to.
Or if you're a nice fob from the Middle East, also hit us up because we could use some wholesome people that actually care and are not tainted by the Western world. Thank you.
All right, you're here first, folks. Next week, we're going to have a live show performed for you by a porn star, as long as they respond to our DMs. Thanks again, and see you next week.